rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Time is 7 o'clock on the dot. Roll call, please.
Michael Cashin,
Present.
Thomas Wood,
Here.
Martin Mannix,
Here.
Meg LaFave,
Here.
Barb Hebert,
Here.
James Coffey,
Here.
Rick Collins.
Fantastic. Resolution 1635, approve minutes of the previous meeting.
Resolved that the minutes of January 4th, 2016 be approved and the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Councilor Mannix? Is there a second?
Second.
Councilor Hebert? Any discussion? Roll call?
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cashin.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1636, abstract.
Resolved that the abstract audit of claims number 1B-2016 for 2494 to 2560 for $117,026.03. And abstract 1B-16 1 through 46 for $152,322.32. And abstract 1B-16 for numbers 501 to 513 prepays in the amount of $40,825.80. An abstract 1B-16 134 prepays in the amount of $689,905.58. Be received as reviewed by the audit committee, and the supervisor is hereby authorized to pay said abstract.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion to that effect.
Mr. Mannix, is there a second?
Second.
Councilor LaFave?
I'd like to
Any
make a
discussion?
comment if I could.
Yep.
Just to review and make sure, we're having all of those numbers after the B1 be 2016.
There are, from my notes here, there should be vouchers, 2 segments for finishing up 2015 and 2 segments finishing, two packets, vouchers, 2494-2560 for the vouchers for 2015, and then another one, 501 to 513 for 2015 as well, helping to close out the year.
Okay.
So that one,
Yep. So the ones-
501 to 513 will be for
2000.
B1 2015.
Correct.
And the first one will be B1 2015.
Correct. Any further discussion? Seeing none, can I get a roll call, please?
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cashin.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1637, monthly department reports, and there is one annual report.
Resolved to receive and place on file monthly department head reports for building and grounds, highway superintendent, park and recreation, supervisor's financial report, town clerk, codes and zoning, historian, planning, and water and wastewater.
Is there a motion? Mr. Wood? Is there a second? Ms. LaFave? Any discussion?
Yeah, the year-end report is for codes and zoning. We also included the December report, there is a year-end report as well.
Usually give a quick highlight of report.
Oh, I have none today.
Okay.
I'll work on it.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing
I
none?
may come back to some of these, as well as the next one.
Okay, roll call?
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Rob Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cashman.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1638, appointment of Housing Development Fund Coalition for the town of Plattsburgh.
Whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Housing Development Fund Company Incorporated and the Town of Plattsburgh Housing Coalition Incorporated bylaws call for the appointment of 2 elected representatives of the town board of the Town of Plattsburgh to serve on the respective committees. Whereas the term of appointment of Councilman Thomas E. Wood to the Town of Plattsburgh Housing Development Fund Company Incorporated and the Town of Plattsburgh Housing Coalition Incorporated term has expired. Whereas it is the desires of the town board of the Town of Plattsburgh to continue to serve the senior citizens of the town by appointing representatives to these committees. Now therefore be resolved that the town board, Town of Plattsburgh, does hereby reappoint Thomas E. Wood to the Town of Plattsburgh Housing Development Fund Company Incorporated and the Town of Plattsburgh Housing Coalition Incorporated to serve as its representative on those committees for a 3-year term to expire December 31st, 2018. And it be further resolved that a copy be placed in Mr. Wood's personnel file and to be given to the Town of Plattsburgh Housing Board.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Councilwoman Hebert, Councilwoman LaFave. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Abstain?
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cashman.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1639, Michelle Buckminster wage adjustment for 2016.
Whereas Michelle Buckminster has been an employee in good standings with the Town of Plattsburgh since November 2011 and occupied the position of Planning Department Planning Board Secretary since September 2012. Whereas upon periodic review of employee wages and terms and conditions of employment, a discrepancy has been observed between the historic rate of pay for said position and the rate currently received by Mrs. Buckminster. Whereas the Town Plattsburgh Board is desirous to maintain fair and equitable working conditions and compensation for its employees. Whereas the approved 2016 budget reflects a wage adjustment for the planning secretary typist shall be set at an hourly rate of $17.36 an hour. Now therefore be resolved that after due consideration and discussion with the finance manager, planning department head, personnel committee, it is recommended that the supervisor, that the planning department's head request for wage adjustment be approved and the finance manager be authorized to execute the wage adjustment for Michelle Buckminster typist in accordance with the budget line item, and it be further resolved that the adjustment be made for the salary period retroactive to January 1, 2016. And it be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager, planning department head, and Ms. Buckminster, and also a copy of this resolution be put in her personnel file.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Ms. LaFave? Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion?
Just that Michelle was really not a good employee, and this is the right thing to do.
Roll call, please.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cashman.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1640, New York City, should be New York State, New York State Association of Towns Annual Meeting of 2016.
Whereas it is in the best interest of the town that the employees and their respective boards remain current and informed concerning changes and regulations. And whereas the training is being offered in New York City through the associations of town from February 14, 2016 to February 17, 2016. Now therefore be resolved that the supervisor, Michael Cashman, deputy supervisor, Meg LaFave, town clerk, Ricky Collins, Justice James Joyce, and Justice Kevin Patnode, and court clerks Pamela Esposito and Pamela St. John reapproved to attend the training, and it be further resolved that the aforementioned individuals receive training for the year of 2016, and the expense for their training be paid from each department's budget. And it be further resolved, the supervisor be authorized to submit a receipt for payment for said yearly training, and a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager, and a copy be placed in their respective personnel files.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Wood? Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Mannix? Any discussion?
Was the fewest that I've sent since I've been on board. We've had many go, but I believe we're looking for training in other areas.
Well, I think it's appropriate. I think it's wise that we are cutting back on the number of people, but I think it's very important that we send people there, because there is a wealth of information available. And I think it's important that we have a delegation there, and that delegation be charged with, attending those meetings and coming back filled to the brim with information.
I certainly view it, since I've been on the council, I've not gone on the New York City trip, and I don't anticipate going every year. I think that a lot of conferences have a tendency to be redundant in nature, and if you can create a strong base of networking that you can pull some of that information together, maybe in every other or what have you, but looking forward to, as part of the delegation, to see what it's offering us. Something on paper is one thing, but being, there as part of the practice is another, so.
There's a lot of connections you can make there.
Yeah.
And you will see the state officials as well. So.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cashman.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1641, the appointment of Town of Plattsburgh delegate for the 2016 Association of Towns meeting.
Whereas training for municipal employees and officials is being held in New York City, February 14th through 17th, 2016. As a member of the Associations of Town, the Town of Plattsburgh has certain privileges. Therefore, be resolved that Michael S. Cashman, Town Supervisor, be appointed official representative of the Town of Plattsburgh, and be allowed to cast his vote on behalf of the town at the 2016 annual meeting of the Associations of Town. And Meg LaFave, Deputy Supervisor, be appointed the alternate delegate in the event Mr. Cashman is unavailable to attend. And it be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Finance Manager, Mr. Cashman, and Ms. LaFave, and one placed in their personnel file. And the supervisor complete the certificate of designation noting that Mr. Cashman, the official town delegate, and Ms. LaFave as the alternate.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Mannix? Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Wood? Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Mannix,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cashman.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1642, request to attend annual code enforcement educational conference.
Whereas it is in the best interest of the town code enforcement officers to remain current and informed concerning changes in regulations and participate in the annual conference, which enables the code officers to earn 24 credits to maintain their licenses. Therefore, be resolved that Stephen Imhoff and Alan Reese, code enforcement officers, be allowed to attend the Northern Adirondack Code Enforcement Officials Association 21st Annual Educational Conference, held from February 29th to March the 3rd, 2016 in Lake Placid, New York, at the Crown Plaza Resort and Golf Club. And it be further resolved that $643 each for the conference fees and lodging and meals be charged to the code and zoning budget. And it be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager and code enforcement officers.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Wood? Is there a second?
Seconded.
Any discussion?
I think this is a very good conference for them, and they've been able to get all of their needed requirements for their licenses done at this time. So, good. It's a good deal, and they do make a lot of connections.
Any other conversation? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Mark Vanek,
Yes.
Meg LeFave,
Yes.
Barb Peter,
Yes.
Mike Cash.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1643, petition for zoning map amendment.
Whereas at its regular scheduled work session on January 11, 2016, the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board received a petition from Robert and Pamela Rober, the duly authorized representatives and owners of tax parcel 205.3-2-2, approximately 7.8 acres of vacant land, requesting an amendment to the existing zoning classification of residential R2 to neighborhood commercial, NC. And whereas pursuant to Article 7, Section 17.3 of the proposed amendment originating the petition or the motion shall be referred to the Town of Plattsburgh Planning Board for report and recommendations thereon. Now therefore be resolved, the Town Board does hereby refer said petition for the proposal amendment to the current Town of Plattsburgh zoning map to the Town of Plattsburgh Planning Board for report recommendations in accordance with Article 7, Section 7.3 of the Town of Plattsburgh zoning ordinance. And to be further resolved, the Planning Board shall submit its report to the Town Board within 45 days of receipt of such referral in accordance with the provisions of zoning ordinance. And to be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Planning Department Chairman and Finance Manager.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Mannix, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
I think it's actually Article 13, Section 17.3.
Yes, it is.
In both instances. But that's, you know, it's the same thing.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Martin Manning,
Yes.
Meg LeFave,
Yes.
Barb Peter,
Yes.
Mike Cash.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1644, 3% site plan return construction deposit for Schluter Systems SSF site plan 2014.
Whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Planning Board has reviewed and approved all requirements of Schluter System SSF site plan 2014. Whereas Schluter Systems SSF site plan amendment 2014 has on file with the Town of Plattsburgh a 3% deposit for construction of the project in the original amount of $7,186.62 plus accrued interest. Whereas the Planning Department has coordinated inspections of said project and reports all requirements have been met and completed. Now therefore be resolved, the supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to release of said deposit in the amount of $7,186.62 plus accrued interest to date. And it be further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be forwarded by the Planning Department Secretary with the return deposit to Schluter Systems.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Mannix, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Wood. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Martin Manning,
Yes.
Meg LeFave,
Yes.
Barb Peter,
Yes.
Mike Cash.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1645, Fountain Brothers American Legion, Post 1619, application for permit for public fireworks.
As Fountain Brothers Post 1619 was duly submitted to the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board, an application for permitted public display of fireworks to be held on February 5th, 2016, to take place at the American Legion Post 1619, situated along the Rand Hill Road in the Town of Plattsburgh. Excuse me. Whereas the town clerk has verified that all requirement documents and fees have been received by the town, and the town attorney approving the application and liability insurance covered as form, and that the Fountain Brothers Post 1619 as the controlling agency of the land on which the public display of fireworks is to be held, having also approved and granted said application by the town. Now therefore be resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to issue the required permit for display of fireworks by the applicant on Friday, February 5th, 2016, the American Legion Post 1619. That it be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager, codes officer, town clerk, and Cool and Shore.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
So Dave, is there a second?
Seconded.
Seaver? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call please.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Michael Fay,
Yes.
Barb Heber,
Yes.
Mike Cash.
Yes, carries. Resolution 1646, independent contractor for assessor's office, data collector appraisal services.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh has identified a need for additional real property data collection services, and after requesting proposal from qualified contractors, the assessing department wishes to enter into an agreement with appraisal services to provide services as noted in the attached agreement for a fee not to exceed $30,000. Therefore be resolved that the town of Plattsburgh, a municipal corporation, organized and existing under the virtue of the laws of New York State, with offices and principal place of business at 151 Baker Road, Plattsburgh, New York. Party of the first part and appraisal services, the contractor, now with offices at 9 Maple Ridge Drive, West Shazy, New York, 12992. Party of the second, wish to enter into an agreement for services as indicated. And be further resolved, appraisal services is an independent contractor and shall not be considered an employee or agent of the town, and as a contractor is hereby prohibited from assigning, transferring, conveying, subletting, or otherwise disposing of this agreement, or the right or title or interest herein. And be further resolved that after review by the town attorney, the supervisor is duly authorized and empowered to execute an agreement on behalf of the town of Plattsburgh, and that a copy of this resolution be given to the budget officer and town assessor.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Mannix, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Wood, is there a discussion?
Yeah, Supervisor Cashman?
Yep.
Yeah. Understanding the justifiable business need for the resolution and request, I guess, going forward, we'll make sure we evaluate this in case there's other venues of opportunities, whether it be software programs or anything.
One of the things that they're using right now is the pictometry, and Brian has been very good to make some presentations to the board. I am certainly going to invite him back to give an update as to what he's doing with that. And as we move forward, Brian will be making some stronger presentations as, what his plans are moving forward after this year.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, another comment, and I'll direct this comment to our attorney. Do you know when on the agreement itself, will the agreement itself make reference to the conditions in that second resolve whereby the contractor is prohibited from assigning, transferring?
All those, those are kind of boilerplate things. I don't believe they're in the contract as it is written, but they should be in the contract as an addendum.
That's what I'm saying. They ought to be in a contract
Absolutely.
because
Yep.
someone else looking at that contract needs to know that.
That's right, and the contract as it is here, doesn't have that. I think Deborah has, and maybe you've seen it, Mike, she's got an addendum, little sheet she can attach that, indeed, they are independent contractors, they're not employees, and all the issues we've outlined in the resolution, but that's a very good point,
We
yeah.
can certainly.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Michael Fay,
Yes.
Barb Heber,
Yes.
Mike Cash.
Yes, carries. Seeing no other further business for the evening, I would take a motion to adjourn at 7:24. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Mannix? Is there a second?
Seconded.
Hebert? Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Martin Mannix,
Yes.
Michael Fay,
Yes.
Barb Hebert,
Yes.
Mike Cash.
Yes, carries. Drive safe, everybody.